What do you think about everyone now, the mainstream media actually acknowledging QAnon? Like you're seeing it in like main shows.
But they're acknowledging it as a conspiracy theory.
So
and like that it's nonsense and that it's crazy. So to me, my guess is they had to acknowledge it because it's getting so big. And of course, when they acknowledge it, they all did it at the same time, and they're all trying to bury Q at the same time, which is, anybody.
So if it's a LARP, let's just take from what I get hit on by everybody that this thing's a LARP. What is the game that the mainstream media is playing by calling him fake? Does that empower Q with people? Because the information he's putting out is not good for them. So why would they empower something that's literally making nobody believe them?
Yeah.
Like, what is the game? That's my whole point.
Well, if you think Q is a LARP, then you're not paying attention. There's no need for if Q wasn't around, all conspiracy theorists would be doing the exact same thing they were doing over the last 20 years, just complaining on their own and kind of looking for abstract YouTube videos here and there. But what Q has done, he's gotten me so into politics. I've never been into politics. I've never cared what happened in D.C. All I knew was about the president and maybe the vice president. I didn't know the deputy director of FBI and all these different DOJ officials and attorneys. And I know it's like Game of Thrones. Once you know all the players like Andrew McCabe, Christopher Wray, Rosenstein, Lisa Page, Peter Strzok, Sessions, once you know all of those motherfuckers, like I didn't know who the Attorney General was before. I didn't know who the Deputy Attorney General was or the Inspector General.
Yeah.
And then you watch him go off in these congressional hearings, Trey Gowdy or Devin Nunes and all the good guys. There's a lot of good guys in Washington, D.C. They just didn't have any power. And the stuff that's going on that Q's been telling us about, what Q's doing is he's keeping all the true patriots, the true truth seekers.
On both sides.
He's keeping us informed of what's going on.
Right.
And he's letting us know that there's a plan. Don't give up hope. Q represents hope because the people that don't follow Q or people that think Q is a LARP, it's like, okay, so how are we going to save this country then? If Q is
it's
just
hope porn. If at the worst it's hope porn, at the best it's hope porn.
Yeah, what else you gonna do? You're gonna follow Q or what? What are you gonna do? What Q is telling us all the shit that's been going down the last 6 months. Q's been telling us about it. Like I wouldn't know what I know about DC if it wasn't for Q. I know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, dude.
I know exactly what's going on. I watch all these hearings every fucking day.
Yeah.
I'm watching these hearings. I know each one of those dudes.
Yeah.
I know them well, just like I'm watching Game of Thrones.
Right.
But this shit's real and it affects
Right.
my life.
It's just
and
backstory, dude.
Without Q, I wouldn't know any of this shit.
Yep.
I would be just like I was 5 years ago. I wouldn't know anything.
I can watch
about
this
DC.
hearing. I can know what that guy's story
Exactly.
is.
You put on
what he's
you put on
saying.
C-SPAN right now, any hearing, I know what's going on because I'm paying attention. Why?
Well done,
because
dude.
Q is making me pay attention. He's telling us what's going on. So most smart people that I know that have college degrees, they have no idea who Andrew McCabe is. They have no idea who Rod Rosenstein is. And they start talking like they know all this shit.
They
Dude,
do.
You're not even paying attention.
There
If you don't know who Rod Rosenstein is, if
Yeah.
you don't know what's going on with the FISA document,
Yeah.
if you don't know what's going on with all those redactions, what's going on, we're trying to get all those redactions taken out.
Yeah.
If you don't know, then please, shut the fuck up. You don't know what the fuck's going on.
Right.
You don't know what's going
right.
on. And you know what? It really comes down to our people going to jail. Our people, and the people that don't follow Q and don't have any faith, they go, you know what? What happened to Eric Holder with all the Fast and Furious shit? He got put under contempt. He never went to jail. Goes, but back then, he had everybody in the positions of power to indict him or put anybody in jail. They were all corrupt. But what's going on, if you follow Q, you're seeing that it's a long process. We got to move people around. We got to get rid of corrupt judges. We got to put clean judges in. And that's what's going on with Q. It takes a while to get the proper people in office at the Department of Justice and the FBI and the CIA to make people go to jail. Will people go to jail? People lost a lot of faith when, 2 years ago, with all the emails, the 30,000 emails that Hillary bleached, all that shit, and the Podestas and all that. People, I lost faith. Like, these people are, how many times have we talked about this on this podcast, where some people are just above the law. Some people could fucking murder people left and right and, you know, not go to jail. But you know what? As far as Q's concerned, they didn't get away with that shit.
Yeah.
All that shit's coming back. They're not getting away with it. You know, so we'll see. Time will tell if people go to jail. But
that will be the big test.
Praying Medic said this the other day. And it made
Did
a
we
lot of
turn
sense.
you on the Praying Medic?
Yeah, you know, it's been Praying Medic, Just Informed Talk, and Bless the Teacher, the three guys I listened to. But Praying Medic was on here. Yeah. So he said that the way Capone went down, everybody knows Capone was involved in every level of crime that is imaginable, right?
Yeah.
But he went down on tax evasion because they couldn't prove anything
The other
without a
stuff,
shadow of a
right,
doubt.
nothing could stick.
You know, nothing stuck. So Praying Medic saying that's what's going on now. All these, you know, they might not go down. They might not go down for pedophilia and child trafficking because it's going to be hard to prove that shit, although we all know it's going down. But they're going to get them with some other shit. And it's all in that FISA document. It's all about those redactions. As of, I think, today or yesterday, Donald Trump, unless this is bullshit, he does have the power to make them remove those redactions. Unredacted, I think they call it unredact shit. All the FISA document with all the like 80% of it's all blacked out.
Yeah.
Once that's unredacted and we see exactly what went down and how the FBI, CIA, Department of Justice, Hollywood, all those
Play all in on it.
You know, certain people in those agencies were corrupt. Not all of them.
Right.
Because, you know, it's really easy to say, it's all WWE, everyone's corrupt. And I was saying that. It's really easy to say that. But without knowing exactly how it all goes down, you could easily say it's all bullshit, it's all corrupt, it's all a show. It's really easy to say that. And, you know, but to spend the time and really look into Q and really know what's going on, just go to Praying Medic's YouTube before it gets knocked down and look on Q for Beginners.
What it is allowing us to get the full story. We can't get it from the news. We've seen them lying over and over again. Trump, listen, man, I know, and we'll get into Aaron thoughts soon, but I still battle with Trump is a white hat, Trump is a black hat. I think you have to take him on each individual basis, on each topic.
I think with Trump, what Corsi said before he abandoned Q, because he did, but when he was all about Q, he said that Q, like that girl you just heard, is a group of about 10 high-ranking intelligence military officers or whatever they are, coming together, that they actually recruited Trump. Trump wasn't their first choice, that other choices, but they needed to get someone as president that had balls. And, you know, Trump, I'm sure he's got a lot of shady shit about him, you know, in dealing with buying and selling buildings, you know, his business. I'm sure he had a lot of shady shit. He's super arrogant, pompous. He's got like a tremendous ego, right? But you
don't
need
get
that.
to a billionaire.
But you
without
need that. But if Q is real and if they really did recruit him, I can see why they recruited him, because the more the media attacks Trump, the more vengeful he gets, and that's what they need. They need someone who's going to dedicate their lives to getting revenge on the media and the people trying to tear him down, and that's exactly what he's doing. So the more they attack Trump, the more he's like, oh yeah, oh really? He's like a gangster. He's a real smart gangster, and he is. I'm sure he's got some crazy, shady shit about him. I'm sure that he's has ties to super shady people, like like Jeffrey Epstein. He knows him,
right?
You know what I mean? Who knows
right.
what he did with him, but he knows him, and he knows he's rubbing shoulders with some shady people. But I think
I have a theory.
I think Q is okay with that, because the big picture is that Trump, no matter how, they needed his arrogance, they needed his pride, they needed his vengeful persona to get things done. So I think Q is like, okay, he's got some crazy, shady shit in his past, but he doesn't have that DC corruption.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
he's
a different kind of crime.
Luciferian like these other motherfuckers.
Yeah, he's not. He probably
dark arts, homeboy.
He probably isn't into fucking kids.
No, he's not. He's into fucking, and that's okay because we all do
that.
that.
I think he's into porn stars. I think he's into grown
isn't?
women. Yeah, I think he's into grown women. So I think that was huge.
He's kind of into his daughter.
Dude,
even when she was underage.
Stop! Shut up! Listen, here's what I want. I have this theory, right? Because the biggest problem we have with Trump, I mean, well, we're not talking Aaron. Aaron will discuss this in a while because we had a wide range of topics we talked about today, which was awesome. It's always a pleasure to have you on. Is that when we look at Trump, he's doing things that we didn't like past presidents doing, which is selling arms to bad people, getting involved in the Israel-Palestine thing in a way that inflames it, bombing the fuck out of Yemen. But what if there's a long game being played here? Because maybe I'm just trying to make this happen because I do want to see change in how our government or how our country is dealing with the rest of the world. We can't keep fucking bombing everybody and not expect blowback. But maybe the game here is keep the military-industrial complex happy until you can take care of this other stuff, and then later on come back around and deal with it. Because he's always said he wants to pull troops out of here. He wants everybody to pay for NATO. He said he wants to pull out of Syria, and then 2 days later we're bombing it. It's like, maybe he has to play this game. Maybe I'm hope against hope.
Yeah. Maybe it's the military that's Q. Maybe Q is the military.
Because they came out of nowhere and they kind of going off on Iran. And then, his play with Iran and Russia is the same play he's playing with Iran, which is like tough talk, then offer them unconditional talks. I mean, there's no conditions to it. We just want to meet and talk.
Yeah.
And again, that would be clipping off another one of these guys that we use as emotional grenades, to these countries that we use emotional grenades to get a reaction out of people so we can jack up the military budget, which I've noticed that we've jacked up twice in the last 6 months, which I've never seen before. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just seems like we've jacked it up even more. And maybe that's a play because these people know that the end is near in terms of this open check we have. And when we talk about how the military, we spend more on our military than anybody else, which is true, but how much of that actually goes to the military? And how much of that is military budget? I mean, military contracts.
Who knows where any of that goes?
Yeah.
Who knows?
You remember, like in Jurassic Park, they were saying that like the T-Rex couldn't see you unless you moved, and then you like research like it's things like, how did you know that?
They're making shit up, man. The best video on dinosaurs is by Eric Dubay. Dinosaurs Never Existed by Eric Dubay. That video smashes. That even Joe listened to. Joe had a paleontologist on his podcast who fucking hates Eric Dubay. He wanted to, he said on Joe Rogan's podcast that if he saw Eric Dubay, he would smash him. He'd smash his skull with a baseball bat. He hates Eric Dubay that much. He hates him. This guy's got like a green goatee and shit.
Yeah, I saw that dude in a hockey jersey.
Yeah, what a goof. But anyways, that dude hates Eric Dubay so much. So Joe played the video and he was like playing, and Joe was listening to the audio and the commentary, and Joe's like, this guy actually sounds like he knows what he's talking about. And they're like, yeah, that's what's scary. He fools people because he sounds like totally logical, but he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But yeah, he does. Listen to Eric Dubay's Dinosaurs Never Existed.
Can you find that video? We'll listen to the audio.
Right now.
Yeah, he smashes. Like,
but he doesn't want to come on the show because it's called Tinfoil Hat.
He's super serious. He
Yeah.
doesn't.
The class Dinosauria was originally defined by Sir Richard Owen of the Royal Society and Superintendent of the British Museum Natural History Department in 1842. Or, in other words, The existence of dinosaurs was first speculatively hypothesized by a knighted museum head coincidentally in the mid-19th century during the heyday of evolutionism, before a single dinosaur fossil had ever been found. The Masonic media and mainstream press worldwide got to work hyping stories of these supposed long-lost animals, and then, lo and behold, 12 years later, in 1854, Ferdinand van der Veer Hayden, during his
Anyone with Van
exploration
in their
of
name
the
is
upper
shady.
Missouri River, found proof of Owen's theory. A few unidentified teeth he mailed to leading paleontologist Joseph Leidy, who several years later declared them to be from an ancient, extinct Trachodon dinosaur, which, beyond ironically, means rough tooth. First,
Crazy.
Yeah, he just goes on for about a half an hour just destroying the dinosaur myth.
Dinosaurs never existed. It's
It's
29 minutes
dinosaurs
long.
like Santa Claus. That's what that is. It's just like Santa Claus for kids.
There's just so much money in this shit, right?
So what if they were able to like clone them and bring them back? Would they prove that they were with, and we see whether they have
Fuck
feathers?
yeah, that's proof. Good luck.
Yeah.
You know, China is trying to do that right now with their
China
woolly
are
mammoth.
the masters of fakery.
Mm-hmm.
All that shit, all the feathered dinosaur theory, all that shit's coming from these fossils that were found in China. There's a company in China. There's a company in China that makes dinosaur bones, man. You could look that up here.
Yeah, right now it's the,
They'll show you the factory. I go, why are you making dinosaur skeletons for what? Dinosaur skeletons are only cool if they're real. They're not cool if they're not real.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
They're only cool like, oh, that was a dinosaur. That's a skeleton.
How pissed would Michael Jackson be if he bought a fake Elephant Man skeleton? If that wasn't even really the skeleton. You want the real shit. Right?
Yeah. I guess what? Yeah.
It's like fucking weird, man. It's just like the deceit. Somebody texted me the other day, is anything real? Is anything real?
Okay. Punch this in on YouTube. It's a less than 2 minute video. People created dinosaur bones. Leaked video. People created dinosaur bones. Leaked video. And it also has Dinosaur, a myth and fairy tale. Do you see that? It says there's an RT logo. You see the RT?
What's your take on RT News?
Probably more legit than CNN.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be
People
more
just
legit.
can't take it.
Yeah, but I'm sure that it's got some bullshit mixed in there.
Well, everybody I talk to say they get no notes from anybody. They can literally do anything they want. And nobody says anything.
Yeah. What, Abby Martin said that?
Abby Martin, Lee Camp.
She believes we went to the moon, so.
Yeah, we never got into that with her. Next
Yeah,
time.
no, you
No, we
asked her.
did.
You
We
asked
asked
her.
her.
And she said she believed we went to the moon.
Huh.
So she does, she's.
Yeah, at the end when we did the round rob, we did around the horn.
Jesus, I take a red pill after every episode. So right now they're photographing a three-dimensional skull using a.
Yeah, it's just a video. It's a video of a factory making dinosaurs bones. Like, what are you doing
In
that
China?
For what? You can't. It's not for a movie. It can't be. Is it for a movie? Like, what is this for?
It's probably right next to the iPhone factory.
Yeah. I mean, leaked video, and whenever you put leaked and all capitalized, I will click on it.
Yeah, oh, clickbait for sure.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you can believe in dinosaurs if you want. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to argue with anybody. I am not interested in debating anybody. You don't ever see me online. Do you ever see me online debating people?
I never see you online.
I don't debate people. I don't even answer anybody's questions. I did that shit in my early 30s on the internet. I used to battle people all the time
Yeah.
over different shit.
Yeah.
You know, gi versus no gi, catch wrestling versus BJJ, judo versus BJJ, rubber guard versus, you know, I was the man arguing. I just fucking have no patience for that no more. The only people I am interested in talking to are people that are already red pilled, or they're on the fence and they have a truly open mind. If you got any kind of staircase syndrome, I don't want to talk to you about anything. I'm not trying to convince you about anything. You know what I mean? You're under MK Ultra mind control. People go, you always talk about mass hypnosis. Well, what do you mean mass hypnosis? No one's hypnotized. I go, yes, you are. I go, this is how you know if you're hypnotized. everybody in the world thinks the government's corrupt, and we talked about this before, but everybody does. So I'm assuming that whoever is listening to this believes that the government, there's corruption in the government.
For sure.
If you believe the government's corrupt, yet you don't believe in any conspiracy theories, you are under mind control. That's it right there. You're awake, but you're under mind control.
What we find is that people say, I believe this, but I'm not conspiracy theorist. I see it all the time. To actually go through life and believe that two people have never conspired to pull some shit on the masses or on a group is laughable and sad.
Yeah.
There's one guy out there. We had Brandon Walsh on, and I talked to this other comedian, and it's very funny because they pretty much brought up the same person. This one comic, I'm not going to say his name. They brought him up and about how it's like he's just so pro status quo, official narrative,
mind control.
Like
they're really smart. They have degrees and everything.
Yeah, it's weird,
degrees,
right?
Yeah, and they will say yes, there is corruption in the government. You can't trust the government, but they believe in zero conspiracy theories. It doesn't make any sense.
They believe in acceptable corruption.
Yeah, I mean, check this out. The whole JFK thing, right? That's not even up for debate, and people are still debating it. It's not up for debate.
You know,
because in 1977,
yeah.
They already had a House committee on assassinations. You could look that up. In 1977, they brought it back up in front of Congress, and the decision was at the end, yes, this was a conspiracy. Yes, Lee Harvey Oswald didn't act alone. But it got no coverage. So if anybody's still debating about JFK, staircase syndrome. Because the government already made the decision that it was a conspiracy theory. The government. Yet you'll have like those giant newscasters like Tom Brokaw and like the dude from 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
They will get on and say that JFK that anybody
lone government,
the lone
Lee
nut.
Harvey
And they call anybody that's that believes otherwise, that believes that there was a conspiracy to kill JFK, they call him crazy on national TV. But yet they already, in 1977, they already figured it all out.
100%.
Yes, it was a conspiracy theory.
How do we
Congress figured that out.
Well, did you see the new thing? They put out something about how they did a hit. 60 Minutes did a hit piece on the guy that was calling out the Clintons for who's their lawyer that got killed? The lawyer that got killed?
Which one? Jeez.
The original one that started everything. What is his fucking name, dude? God damn it. Come on, Aaron. You know who it is. You just don't want to fucking say it.
I don't know.
Clinton. Come on, Clinton lawyer, you fuck.
Hey, Aaron, you won the bet. I was like, we're talking about dinosaurs. There's no way we're going to mention Clinton. There's no way. You won, Aaron. You won, man. I should have taken that bet.
Shut up! Vincent Foster, all right?
Yeah.
Vincent Foster. So this guy comes out and basically lays how the Vincent Foster, there's no way it was a suicide. Mm-hmm. That the police completely, purposely botched the whole interview. I mean, the whole investigation. Like every cop that was there said there was no blood anywhere. They've never seen. There was so little blood that they didn't even have to use gloves. That's how little blood there was. So 60 Minutes interviews this guy, and they basically show you in this video how they cut the interview. Where the guy interviewed, I forget which name this was on 60 Minutes. Every time they cut back to him, his hands were in different places, like he's in different body places, and they edited it together. And that's kind of what happens. We see it happen all the time in this rush. I mean, we just see it happen all the time, and just people just keep believing in this bullshit.